First debuting in 1994, the Babolat Pure Drive changed the way we think about rackets by offering something that worked for both pros and recreational players, and it's been influencing frame design ever since. Now the Pure Drive remains more relevant than ever thanks to its easy power, spin, and accessibility that made it so popular in the first place. With the 11th generation of Pure Drive arriving this year, we've brought together tennis players from around the world to test it and give their thoughts. We have Delaney, a D1 athlete, Naya, a globe-trotting content creator and tennis enthusiast, FootDoctorZach, famous for dissecting shoes, Will, our doubles expert, Beckett, the guy who geeks out on customizing rackets, and Jonas, the OG tennis nerd, plus a few familiar faces to round out the team. All of the players have been able to hit the rackets already, so today we're here to refresh their experience and get their thoughts to give you an idea on what to expect from the 2025 Babolat Pure Drive.
My first impression of the new Pure Drive on court is that this is a classic Pure Drive.
I forgot how much power and depth you really get from the Pure Drive and how nice it is when you hit that sweet spot.
Much less of a trampoline than I thought it was going to be. It actually had a little bit more control to it than I was thinking.
It's powerful, it swings out on flat shots like an absolute truck.
I was able to generate tons of power from the baseline. I didn't really have to do too much with my ground strokes. I swing easy and let the racket do all of the work.
The first two things I noticed with this racket when I got on court was the easy power and just the ease of use overall.
As expected with the Pure Drive, easy power seems to be the takeaway. For those of us that have played with the Pure Drive line, we know that there is a trade-off that comes with that power: feel. But with this new Pure Drive, Babolat has made some adjustments to accommodate for that powerful response.
So the main improvement, I think what will make tennis nerds across the world excited is the NF2 Tech, which was a huge deal for the arrows. So the arrows really much more comfortable, had better sensation and impact, and this one takes that same sensation and the same improvement and takes it to the drive, which was always a very stiff racket. So this technology update, sometimes tech updates are not like a huge thing. For this one, it is.
Jonas is right. This update is a big deal. There hasn't been too many major changes to the Pure Drive in recent years, and with this new update, we had to know if the feel was a noticeable difference.
The previous Pure Drive I wasn't a huge fan of because of this kind of very stiff feel that is not my really cup of tea always, but this one, with the improved softness and feel of the racket, it's much better. I think most people will feel that straight away.
So now playing with the new Pure Drive, I feel like when I do generate power and really get that sweet spot, I really have so much power and depth and quite a lot of stability. Compared to when I used to play, I feel like now I know how to maneuver the racket a lot better and I can actually control it a lot better.
I'm noticing an even plusher feel. The sweet spot continues to feel nice and large and forgiving.
Moving back and forth between rackets, sometimes I can get some wrist pain or elbow pain, but with the Pure Drive, it felt super natural and it feels just like an extension of my own arm.
The main difference that I really noticed was like a generally more solid feel, maybe a little bit of a deeper hitting noise on court, which I think is a little bit more confidence inspiring.
So even with the major update, it's still a Pure Drive. Big sweet spot, easy power, but what you're getting now is a softer, more plush feel.
So the Pure Drive is great for getting one extra ball back in the court, all this extra power, and I loved it on flattening out shots from all areas of the court, forehand, backhand, and up at net.
Out on the court, I feel like it really excels from the baseline, especially with my forehand.
My favorite shot to hit with this is the serve. The serve just delivers, and for a shorter guy as myself, you need all the help you can get. If you're playing with D1 guys, for example, like this one really delivers on the serve, super rock solid.
My favorite shot to hit is definitely my backhand.
So for me, the new Pure Drive, I liked best on my backhand actually. I felt like I didn't have to do too much, and my backhand tends to break down before any of my other shots.
I guess my slice backhand was my favorite shot on this one, just because to me, I kind of like to use that as more of a drive, like actually an offensive shot. And with this one, with kind of my technique on that, it just really, this one fits my slice backhand almost perfectly.
While the players have all responded positively to the update, every rose has its thorn. So where did the players think that this racket could be improved?
The only thing I would change about this Pure Drive is make it a little less stiff, that's it.
The one area I didn't quite like the Pure Drive as much was at the net. So on my volleys, I felt like they sailed a little bit more, and I didn't have the stability that I like to especially defend against harder ground strokes.
So the Pure Drive gives you loads of power. This is not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone will love to have a lot of power through the court, but it makes tennis easier. But it's still like not for the control player. Now you have two options. You have the 98 for more control, 16-20 pattern, and you have the 100 if you want more forgiveness. Maybe you play doubles, you can hit a bit off center and it still will give you a good ball. So this actually delivers on pretty much all aspects of what you're looking for if you're into power, but it's not for the control player.
There's nothing I would change about this racket. I really like it.
Overall thoughts on this new update: not a perfect fit for my game, but something that I can see myself recommending to players who are looking for something powerful, especially if they're flatter hitters.
I think the new 2025 Pure Drive is perfect for a more stable player who is consistent and really able to hit that sweet spot consistently. It will give you so much power and depth and really be able to help you get explosive winners on the court.
So I really like the new update and the feel and control of this racket without obviously sacrificing any of the power that the Pure Drive is known for.
Overall thoughts is that my arm feels really good after playing with this, and I've been playing, like I said, a lot more than I normally do. And whereas my arm was maybe a little bit getting tired on some other frames I was trying, on this one I feel like I could go back out there and play quite a bit more.
I'm so glad that Babolat continues a good thing. This is still going to be that amazing and powerful racket. Not a ton has changed, and that is a positive for me. It's still going to be an amazing weapon of choice, especially for those big baseliners that like to bang balls and dictate points.
The Pure Drive is one of those rackets that I will always keep in my bag. It's a top 3 racket of all time for me. So whenever I'm playing and I feel like I need a little power or a little oomph, I pick it up and I instantly get that nice sensation when I hit it.
The 2025 Pure Drive is the best Pure Drive I've hit in years. It delivers on the comfort which has been lacking in previous generations. Some players don't feel it, but some players will. In this one, the NF2 Tech really delivers comfort, really delivers feel, but doesn't skimp out on the explosive power that makes this line such an icon.
Who carries the most weight out here?
Is it FDZ? It's either Beckett or it's Jonas.
Who's the most influential? Myself, no. That's a good question.
Jonas talks the most.
Say maybe Beckett has the most influence.
I don't know the following numbers, but you know, Tennisnerd carries a lot of weight.
Tennisnerd does. Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to the footwear, though, FDZ is the man. FootDoctorZach.
Footwear, it's him. Easy.
Yeah.
Jonas for sure. Man, I mean, he makes me more relaxed, you know?
I think Zach for me, just because I think his content is like very different from what I've been around before. I think he's like super specific and specialized in what he does.
Zach's on the game.
But all of them are big in my heart.
Anybody have the least influence?
How many?
That's us. Why me? Just me? I was like, us. You throw me under the bus, just myself.